Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Phil Lipoff. New from 9 News Investigates. A man said he feared for his life when an Inglewood police officer shot him with a taser and grabbed him around the neck.
The man suffered injuries in the incident. The officer was fired and charged with felony and misdemeanor assault. He told us he believes he was targeted because he's Venezuelan. Kevin Vaughn from 9 News Investigates spoke with the man who was injured. And Kevin, police suggested that part of what happened here was due to a language barrier.
Well, Kim and Phil, this man is a Spanish speaker who told us he was trying to translate the officer's instructions on his phone after being pulled over for running a stop sign. We interviewed him with the assistance of a translator. We agreed not to show his face because prosecutors consider him a crime victim. At first, the man in the Audi wasn't worried.
Yo decía, bueno, si me para, me pide identificación, cualquier cosa, yo lo tengo porque el carro está a nombre mío, tiene sus placas, tiene su seguro, tiene su registración.
53 seconds later, it was a different story.
Levántese, now. Lo que yo sentí de mi parte de vista es que me iba a hacer mal, ¿sí me entiendes? Me quería matar, me iba a hacer daño.
Taser. Harm from a taser. We're not gonna play this. And what prosecutors allege was an illegal chokehold.
Sentí que me iba a morir.
That now former officer, Ryan Vecina, appeared in court today, formally accused of felony and misdemeanor counts of assault and a charge of official misconduct.
Pareció conocido y familiar y
Northbound Broadway and Yale.
It turned out Vecina stopped the same man for a traffic violation in April. That night, a drug dog's bark led to a search that turned up nothing illegal. Still, Vecina didn't believe the man's story, that he and his partner were delivering food.
Something funky is involved, and it's not DoorDash. I get you have the DoorDash bag, but if you're going to be doing anything related with narcotics, don't come to Englewood. Because if I catch you out here, I will be the one to catch you, and I'm going to hang you out to dry with charges. Get out of the car right now!
Then came October 8th, a stun gun. Can you show me where the taser hit you?
aquí.
What did that feel like?
Yo dolor, mucho dolor.
And then, an arm across his neck.
No podía respirar y no podía decir nada y
My neck.
5 weeks later, he said the incident is still with him.
yo siento el temor cada día que me levanto hasta cada día que me acuesto.
Vecina and his attorney left court today without commenting. The officer, who was terminated after this incident came to light, is scheduled to be back in court to enter a plea in early January. Live in the newsroom, Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.
Wow, that man has quite the story to tell. Is he planning to attend some of these court hearings or anything?
Kim, he was in court today, actually, when the former officer, made his first appearance.
All right, well, good for him. Thank you, Kevin.
So it was a nice but windy day across the state today. Parts of the state feeling nearly 70-mile-per-hour gusts, all before a chance of snow here in Denver a little later this week. So right now, let's get to senior meteorologist Chris Bianchi with more on all of that. I know we need it, but it was a nice day.
It was a nice day, just a little bit blustery, kind of an annoying sort of wind for us through the day today. But otherwise, temperatures a few degrees above average and still fairly mild for this point of the day. It is, of course, mid-November after all. Our average high temperature for this time of year is in the low 50s. So we're in the mid-50s right now. We topped out around 60 degrees across most of the metro area. But the wind was the story. Still seeing in some cases here on the I-70 corridor a 50-plus mile-an-hour wind. So just keep in mind, as always, 10 and 2 on the wheel, but especially when we've got a little bit of snow and some pretty gusty conditions in the mountains. Temperatures 40s, 50s right now, eastern plains, 30s and 40s in the mountains. And that radar, still seeing a few drips of rain across Logan, Phillips, and Sedgwick counties, and a few flakes for us in the mountains. No big deal, though. Certainly nothing as intense as what we saw earlier on this morning. But you look off to the west. This is our next big weather maker, and it's moving onshore. This is a cutoff low, and it'll move its way in our direction for Thursday and Friday across Colorado, and it will likely lead to a significant rain event for us in the Denver area, and perhaps our first flakes of the season, and the mountains, a decent hit of snow on the way from this storm as well. I'll tell you about it in a couple minutes.
The Drug Enforcement Administration says the latest fentanyl bust in Colorado resulted in the largest ever seizure of the drug in the state's history. Colorado Bureau of Investigation says that seizure of nearly 2 million counterfeit pills laced with fentanyl was part of a larger investigation. Investigators say those pills were found after someone bought a storage unit at auction. After buying the unit, the buyer found what appeared to be illicit drugs. Investigators say the drugs are tied to a bigger trafficking operation out of Mexico, impacting more than just Colorado.
It is also indicative that the Mexican cartels continue to traffic significant quantities of fentanyl to Colorado, and the seizure has been tied to active DEA investigations involving federal, state, and local partners touching 6 different states as well as Mexico, targeting the Sinaloa cartel.
The DEA says this is the 6th largest fentanyl seizure in the U.S.
Washington State pumping the brakes on Colorado's request for more wolves. Washington's Fish and Wildlife Commission voted over the weekend to reject Colorado's request for more wolves. The commission says wolves are still listed as an endangered species in Washington. If that changes, the commission says it would reconsider future requests. Comes after the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service sent a letter to CPW saying it can no longer import any more wolves from Canada.
A northern Colorado family reuniting with their puppy nearly 3 weeks after it was taken from their home. The 5-month-old micro-exotic bully puppy named Bluey was taken from the home in Garden City on October 22nd. Greeley police say investigators reviewed surveillance footage and were able to identify a suspect and their car. Garden City police officer later found the suspect's home and Bluey. The pup was returned to the family.